Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. And I'm not really sure what's really spurring me to do this type of a video. And it's a societal thing, and it is. I like to try some of the ones. I'm trying to get into doing a bit more like a Bible study type video for Sunday. Those will like post. Sorry, I didn't even put my hand in front of my mouth. For those to post on Sunday, either Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. But we do some other more shoot from the hip type of videos during the week. And this is what this one's going to be. Happy Memorial Day. That's when this is going to post. It's going to be posted on Memorial Day. I have a couple of videos that I'm wanting to do, because when I started doing this, I originally was talking about, what I've been through, with divorce and remarriage and divorce. Yeah, pretty much in that order. marriage, divorce, marriage and divorce. So, that's how I started this. Yeah, and it's more of trying to be an encouragement to people, and not just, especially men and young men, and trying not. I don't ever want to make this into a red pilled YouTube channel. It's not what this is meant. This is meant to be uplifting and encouraging. I do think sometimes I get, videos have to come out. I have to talk about stuff that is going to basically become red pill. Okay. And it's not my intentions to do that. I think the majority of the guys out there who are doing the whole red pill thing, they're doing, red pill on relationships. A lot of them, they sound very scorned, very bitter. And I think the reason why I am not so scorned and bittered right now is not because, it's not because I'm being delusional. I think it's because I've had time to cool off. All right. 10 years, that's a long time to not be in a long-term relationship. And I really haven't. I've dated off and on over the last several years, the 10 years that I've been separated / divorced. Yeah, it's been a kind of a, I just, I've dated off and on. I've never really gotten into a long-term relationship. And I think that's been good. That has been very good. And like I said, that's given me a chance to cool off. It's given me a chance to cool off from my anger, from what my exes have done. It's given me time to just to get through the situations that I was with my children. My daughter, most of my kids are adopted, and they stayed with me. And so there's a lot of trauma in their own life that we've all had to deal with. And there's stuff that I never handled very well. I mean, I didn't handle it well at all. And it was just good that did not have a long-term relationship. And I think if I did, things would have been worse. I would have been spiritually worse, mentally worse. Who knows? Possibly even physically worse. Who knows the decisions that I probably would have made. And the dark hole that I was already in a pit of darkness, but it could have gotten worse. It could have gotten worse over time. And it's really, it's really hard to look back and to realize everything that you've gone through. But there is some stuff I need to talk about. And there's a warning and like I said, I don't ever want this to become a red pill channel. I really don't. I don't believe I'm being red pilled with this. I believe that I need to put out a warning to especially the young men out there, and especially those, perhaps you feel like you're never going to find love, and there's a certain group of women out there that are giving you, they're willing to give you attention. Okay? And so that's what you're doing. You're enjoying it because they're giving you this attention. And I want to give you this warning. And I don't believe I'm being red pill. I don't believe I'm acting like one of these guys on the red pill channels who are saying that dating is bad, marriage is bad. Rah, we're men. Let's, revert to our Neanderthal selves and reject all women and let that be that. No, okay. I'm not, I don't want to do that. But like I said, there's a warning here. And the warning is to all the young, especially the young men out there, or even the men, guys who are, you're kind of feeling like, well, I am, this is probably the best I'm going to be able to do. And here's the warning. It has to do with single moms. Okay? And there's all kinds of jokes out there. Most single moms and other strippers are working in the strip club and they're doing this, that, and the other. That's not true. There's a lot of single moms out there. I'm going to say the majority of single moms are not strippers or whores or escorts, and this, that, and the other. I believe that's a very small group who've allowed themselves to become desperate and probably has some other substance abuses going on. But why am I warning you guys about single moms? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm 50 years old. Anytime I've gone onto the dating websites, it seems like the women that are more age appropriate for me, they all have kids. Okay? They all have children. They are single moms. And I'm sure the majority of them are genuinely looking for somebody to connect with. Okay? Their son or daughter or kids, all their children, they probably spend every other weekend or every other week with their biological father. Okay? I'm sure that's going on. And they're looking for somebody to just spend time with, to know that they can be loved, to have a relationship that is going to be built on some very positive things, primarily God, faithfulness, have a very strong foundation, and no matter what storm comes their way, it's not going to get blown off. And I'm positive that's what a lot of them want. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of them out there. They're single moms, but it's getting married is an ends to a mean. Okay? It's an ends to a need. And the need is an income. They need money. They need stuff. Sorry. I hate to say it. I believe there's a lot of single moms out there who are, this is what they're doing. They're just, they don't care. They don't care about you. They really don't. They care about what you can give to them. Sorry. I really am sorry. I'm not saying this to hurt your feelings. I'm not saying this to say all single moms are just a bunch of hoes. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say to you is be careful. Okay? So here's the thing. If she wants to rush into it, walk away. Okay? Now, it's probably a good thing for whether it's a single mom or just a single lady. For whatever reason, she's for whatever reason she hasn't committed to, or has not been taken off the market, and she's suddenly wanting to just go full throttle into everything. Walk away. Okay, that's not good. Another big red flag, guys, to look for is if she has 3 or 4 kids with 3 or 4 different baby daddies. Walk away. All right, just walk away. Chances are she's looking to make you baby daddy number 4. Now, I personally, I never had biological kids with either one of my exes. Okay, and I thank God on that. Unfortunately, you know, like I said, me and my ex, my second wife, we've adopted 2 kids, so there's that. Fortunately, now the kids are out of school; they're in their 20s now, and I still love them to death. Still a very strained relationship between me and my daughter. My son still stays with me; he pays rent every month, but it's yeah, it's you know kind of depressing and kind of depressing just to think about how things could have been. Something else to think about is what is she doing when how are you guys meet? What does she like to do? Does she like to go to the clubs? Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's a red flag. Does she like going to the bars? That's definitely a red flag. When you guys, does she like more of the more expensive things, the finer things of life? And when I say finer things of life, I mean, like I said, more expensive things of life. That's kind of a red flag. Is she looking for, is she really concerned about how much you make? Is she always kind of questioning, your income, what was your annual income, what assets you have, what's your debt? Red flag, man. Red flag. Here's the thing. Usually most of the single moms today that I've seen to come across, they're after one thing, and that is what you have. And that's scary. I don't understand it. Don't get me wrong, okay? I've actually met a couple single moms that's not what they're after. They're not after it at all. Okay? They're wonderful people. And the reason why we remained dating was because the chemistry, it just wasn't there. The click wasn't there. We kind of realized it, really early within the first couple of days. We realized that, okay, this is probably not going to work. And, so we didn't continue dating. I still got, there was one girl I dated. I should call her a girl. She's my age. She'll probably shoot me. But we went to high school together. And yeah, she, her and her ex, they had 2 kids, and the kids are grown. She's a grandma now. But unfortunately, years ago, she was together with another guy, and this guy was, yeah, I won't get into what he was or the kind of person he is, but they end up having a kid, beautiful young little girl, and I know deep down she was probably looking for someone to be a father figure for her daughter. But, we dated a little bit and nothing really transpired. But she's, a wonderful person. And if somebody was to come up to me today and ask me about her, I would have nothing but good to say about her, because I know she's not really after, someone to just take care of her. She's looking to be with someone. And that's a rarity. And unfortunately, me and her, the chemistry is not there. The click is not there. So, yeah, you move on. But with all this going on in the world, my warning to you guys, especially the young guys out there, be careful. Okay? Like I said, you will, there are good ones out there, and I believe the majority of them are not bad. Unfortunately, it's like, there's the parable of the tares. In the Bible, I can't even remember where the actual book, the book and chapter of it. But You know, a guy goes out, he plants his field, and goes out there, he plants his crop, he plants the wheat, plants his wheat or his grains out there. But in the middle of the night, an enemy comes along after he's planted and plants a whole bunch of weed seeds. Okay? Unfortunately, they don't catch it until as they grow, and all of a sudden they start noticing, that's a weed. Oh wow, this is all mixed in together. And they ask him, what should we do? Should we just go out and start, pulling the weeds out? And he goes, no, you pull the weeds out, you're going to accidentally pull out the other stuff. You can't do that. So unfortunately, it's all mixed in, and you're going to have to go and sift through it if that's really what you want to do. Okay. What I'm doing, I'm going to be very honest with you. It's a last ditch effort. I just kind of feel like I'm still a little too young to just be single, in a great place where I could very easily just move on with life and find that right person. And that's really what I'm wanting to do right now. I'm looking for the right person, and I'm looking overseas. I'm really sorry, guys. I am looking overseas. I have been burnt. I think what I'm really looking for is not here. And so I'm actually looking in the Philippines. Met somebody, we're chatting. Gonna go meet her in December. I think I talked about it in the last few videos. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that's how life is. Okay? So guys, if you get out there and you're wanting to start dating again, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, be careful of those single moms. Okay? My advice, there's a couple of things that you need to be very careful of, or be very attentive of if you're going to date a single mom. One is the biological father in the kid's life? Is he paying child support? Is he there for his kids? And I mean it. If something goes on with the kids, whether, the kids are disrespecting you, they're disrespecting their mother, is he going to step in? Is he more than willing to say, hey, tell the kids, hey, you need to knock this off? Actually be a parent, not just be the weekend parent, and actually be a full-time parent, even though he doesn't live in the house. Okay. Is this something that is this something that they're willing to do? In the picture, like I said, paying child support, are they willing to actually be the parent? Translation is, you're not the parent, you're the guy who's married to their mom. And that way you and their mom can actually work on their relationship together. Okay? Because really the truth is at the end of the day, they're going to go to college, they're going to go to the military, they're going to go out into the workforce, they're going to move out, they're going to move to another part of the country. Or they might be illegal, but they may not be in that house with you. You and your wife, you and their mom, have to have a relationship. Is that going to happen? The other thing is, like I said, I think I said it before, does she have a baby daddy for every kid? Like, if she has 4 kids, does she have 4 different baby daddies giving her child support? Right there, I would just walk away. Okay? I'm really sorry. I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I'm sure she just got caught up with 4 different guys and got pregnant. No, I would just walk away. Walk away from it. And the other thing is is she back to living with her parents? I understand. In this day and age, it's really hard to date somebody who is, it's really hard to be living alone. You've a lot of individuals, they're finding themselves starting over and having to move in with their parents again. And I understand it. It's really hard, but does she have a plan in place to get out from living with her parents that does not involve you? Like, while you guys are in the dating process, is she going to be able to find her own place and not that does not involve her moving in with you? That is some stuff you need to be thinking about. It's this is I mean, like I said, dating today is just not what it was. Um, it's nuts, it's insane, rather depressing. It's and I've told several people over the years, if this what I got doing right now, me with this lady over in the Philippines, like I'm not giving you everybody a lot of information. I'm intentionally doing that, okay? Because yeah, she's in the Philippines. I'm sure this is gonna probably be mostly in the United States, but yeah, I don't need people to try and find her or do whatever. So I'm trying to honor her privacy and just no. So yeah, if it doesn't work out, I'll be giving up on marriage and dating altogether. I'll probably move somewhere, find me a tiny home somewhere, and just let it be me and a dog. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. That's not where it's going to go. So, like I said before, I don't want this to become a red pill channel. A lot of those, I do believe marriage is sacred. I firmly believe that it takes two people to make a marriage work. It takes two people to build a marriage. But at the same time, it takes one person to knock it off its foundations and destroy it. It really does. So I don't believe women are evil. I don't believe the majority of women out there have an agenda. I don't think they do. As I said before, single moms, most of the single moms out there, I don't think they're evil. I don't think they're selfish. At the end of it, the majority of them, they have to think of their kid first. That is something you need to be thinking about too. All right, I should have said that earlier. Until you're married, their kid is first. All right, do you understand me? Their kid is going to be first, and I understand a lot of them, they're going to be on survival mode, and that's, like I said, they're trying to take, it's them and their kid, and you are an end to a means. Okay, you're the end to the means, and so you got to be careful. Take your time dating her. Make sure that it's going to be good between the two of you. If there's going to be a lot of drama, I'd walk away. All right. Anyways, another cloudy day in Vermont. Cloudy Memorial Day weekend. I had to kind of step away from. I wanted to do an outdoor one, but people coming in and out. I'm in a little fishing access right now. It's beautiful out here. Like I said, it's cloudy, getting dark, so I gotta land the plane. Take care, all of you. Hey, okay, don't give up. All right, don't call it quits. You know what? Let God bring the right one to you, and you'll know. All right. God bless every single one of you out there. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.